Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you would have noticed that the SEC has actually filed an appeal for the Judge Torres ruling. Okay, so this is what we was actually kind of portraying. This was literally less than 24 hours, and this was before the SEC ruling, before the capitulation here. So you can see my sort of TA now. This fake out here is with lines with markers, so you can't actually see the wick through there. But this price action here was enough to actually, instill euphoria into the market, because if you was on X 24 hours ago, everybody was screaming, or 24, 48 hours, everybody was screaming, breakout, breakout, this is a breakout, all the big accounts as usual. Now, I thought we needed a little bit more conviction, a little bit. I thought XRP needed to go a little bit higher, which is why I put this TA in. And I also explained in the previous video as well why I thought that XRP would get up to, high 60s, if not 70s. 70 cent odd, just simply because I feel like we needed to sell the fake out a little bit more than what we did with XRP. But XRP, we didn't even get a close outside of the wedge, and then XRP ever since has actually capitulated down here. So I've got here stipulating that the 50 cent area would be tagged after the US elections. Now, obviously, the SEC ruling has come. The appeal certainly has come sooner than obviously the US election. So we're actually seeing an accelerated price action before we actually get this breakout now. So I'll go over to the XRP chart now, and you can clearly see here. So this is where everybody was shouting fake out here, top of this green candle here, around 65, 66 cent. Now, I thought we would sell that a little bit more than we did. I thought we'd get up around this sort of region, around sort of 70, 71 cent at least. And then it's like, that is a breakout. That could have probably sold me as well, and that would have been a perfect bull trap. But I didn't buy into it. I'm not looking to trade XRP, really. I've got a comfortable bag of XRP, and I'm not expecting anything major to happen up until 35 bars after the Bitcoin halving. So you can see, guys, I knew we weren't expecting any explosions just yet. You can see here in the super cycle, 35 weeks after the Bitcoin halving is when you get the explosion here. It's marked out. Exactly the same here. However, in this one here, this is the ordinary cycle. It's literally only 2 weeks after the US elections where we got a bit of an impulse. But ultimately, we came back down to this support trend line where we retested the XRP price on the day of the Bitcoin event here. So you can see on the day of the Bitcoin event here, around 11th of May 2020, it was trading around 19, 20 cent. Now you can see after the US elections, we actually spiked through here and we took out that previous price, which is exactly what I'm looking for XRP to do. However, we have made an early move, which is good news, because ultimately we could see a breakout sooner than the 35 weeks. Now, over in the XRP plan, if you guys are not aware, I have got the XRP plan. You can access that by theblockbulls.com. I will leave a link in the description down below. And if you follow me over on X as well, there is a link for that as well. So if you literally just click onto my profile here, the link's there, and that'll take you through to all the plans. Now, plans seem to sell really well. Everyone wants to grab a copy when the market's doing well, and we're going up in price action. As soon as the market tanks, it's like nobody's interested. But I've got that XDC plan, and XDC is performing remarkably at the moment in terms of the price. However, let's get back over to the charts. Again, just to reiterate, we're not expecting any sort of explosion to the upside up until altcoin market, in my opinion, is going to get going around 25th of November. But 35 weeks after, we're looking at just before week commencing of Christmas. But again, 36 weeks, that would take us up into the new year. Now, ultimately, crypto and other sort of assets, they tend to move at the beginning of the day, the week, the month, the year, etc., and the quarter as well, believe it or not. So this is where we are now, guys. Usually get the big run up on these time frames, and then you seem to get a rollover in price depending on which way you're going. So, for example, if you start Q4 downwards, you'll get that sort of impulse to the downside, and then you sort of get that sort of positive price action. So it's kind of reverse correlation, if that makes sense. But ultimately, we're not looking for any sort of massive euphoric price action till the end of the year. So if you hear anybody this Q4, October, November, December, even if the Judge Torres rules out and declines the SEC's appeal for this 125 million fine and for retail sales as well on exchanges. It's not going to be a big deal. We have seen 2 fake outs now to the downside, so there's no reason why we can't see an upside sort of fake out as well prior to the US elections, again before capitulating back down into this sort of wedge. Now, I've added this extra TA here. You can see this green trend line here. Now, all TA is all like self-explanatory. If you guys knew watching the channel, you've got the macro wedge, the blue lines. So that's been going on around 7 years. You've got this vertical line here, which is the Bitcoin halving. This next yellow line is the US elections. This yellow horizontal line here, this is marking this particular price action out. This was XRP price on the day of the Bitcoin halving, which for me was important because this is what we look to retest. And you can see all the liquidity here with all the weekly closes around here. We had a fake out. We managed to recover and reclaim the wedge. Okay, so the wedge has been pretty strong going into the apex, but again, we're having fake outs and we're going to see shakeouts because the market isn't going to give you those massive gains without a battle. Do you know what I mean? They're going to make you suffer and they're going to put you through the ringer. It's not going to be like plain sailing where, we just flatline, go straight into the apex here around 61, 62 cent, then explode in January. We're going to see it come down. We're going to see it explode to the upside, and it's literally going to rag you up and down this chart here. So this is where we are now. However, you can see support here. So the Bitcoin, at the time of the event, Bitcoin, that is acting as support, and that's acting as real nice support there. So that's holding, although we're outside of the wedge. And like I say, I've marked out here from the bottom of the 24 low. So this year, this is our low. You can see where we go back here. If I just scroll out for you guys, 24 is down here. So ever since this sort of price action here, we got a low there. However, this is the low here, and this is the weekly close. So this is an area of interest for me. Now you can see how we had this doji candle here, literally on the sort of support trend line. So the market is indecisive. So obviously we've spiked up here, and then we spiked down as well, and we've tested this. Seems like a new area of support down here, this green. Now, we have had a convergence of support as well, so that, for me, is solid support. We've got 2 lots of support coming into price action here. We've got the Bitcoin support, and we've also got the not the all-time low, but the 24 low, weekly close down there, marking out to the apex. So this is like the new sort of microstructure going into Q4 now. So I do expect us to pinball around these sort of prices. So anywhere from around this sort of 51 cent area all the way up to about, I'd say in the interim before US elections, you can see where this blue trend line's trading around 64 cent. Again, I do expect fake outs. We've had 2 fake outs here. Okay, so we've had a fake out here all the way down here. So that was about a 24% retracement. Now, if you was to do something similar in the opposite direction, you can get as high as about 85 cent as a fake out. And I'll probably be looking at taking out this wick here. So I could see us even going as high as about 90 cent, even prior to elections, or certainly around elections, before then crashing back in to this wedge here around this sort of 60 cent area. Again, I would expect some sort of flatline price action as well, because in my view, if I was an institutional investor, that would be the best way to spook people out of the market. I'd tank it and then I'd flatline the market. That would be the best way for me to get anybody who's in XRP out of the markets and, convince them to sell, especially when you've got a lawsuit going on as well, because for whatever reason, everybody's afraid of litigations, lawsuits, etc. However, what they're not understanding is this is just an appeal. This doesn't mean XRP has lost just yet. So there is still time for XRP, and I do believe XRP will be part of the ISO 222 coins, because he was one of the founding members of that particular organization, So it's one of the chosen winners, along with XDC, along with Stellar, also doing retail CBDCs. You've got Quant in the mix with R3. HBAR will no doubt have something to do with it. Algo as well with stable coins with USDC. So we know that XRP is already a winner. It is manipulation at its best, and this is what manipulation is. We've seen consolidation accumulation here. We've seen manipulation to the downside. And we're going to get into, after the US elections, we're going to get into the distribution phase. And that is where the real excitement starts, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we're waiting for now. Nothing has changed, but certainly I would be accumulating. If you're an XRP holder and you've been holding since the previous cycle, why would you fold now in the final stretch? It doesn't make any sense. So this is where we are now, guys. We've got two supports holding us up. Again, if you guys want further sort of confirmation and you want some reassurance, I have got the XRP plan here. So nothing has changed, and I've updated these guys prior to that capitulation as well. I said, look, guys, we're looking at taking out 50 cent after the US elections. I know it's come prior to it, but ultimately we are revisiting that sort of 50 cent area of interest, which is what I wanted to highlight, really. Again, we're not looking to trade this. I'm just setting expectations so we don't experience mental fatigue going into the apex before we actually see some massive returns. XRP, despite what's going on now, he's going to get to double digits minimum. And again, I will share with you my ultimate prediction, the peak of the cycle in the XRP plan, if you guys want to grab that. Again, link in description. Now, this is where we are. Again, it's exciting times, but ultimately you just got to hold your nerve. The charts, in my view, look phenomenal. If you are accumulating and you have got fresh capital to deploy into the markets, for me, not financial advice, but I'll be looking at accumulating. I certainly am anyway, guys. But I'm going to leave that with you guys. I'm going to take it easy. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Do what you got to do as always. And I shall see you in the next video. Blockbull over and out.